Day 4, welcome. We are going to get moving quite quickly, so find your space, find your yoga mat, your chair, wear comfortable clothing you can move it easily in, and I will see you in a second. So if you are mat based today and or chair based but you want to stand, start standing. If you'd rather stay on the chair, stay on the chair. We'll come to our mountain pose. So finding a mountain pose, feet about hip distance apart, gently pushing down through the feet, shoulder blades down the back, lengthen the tailbone. 3 breaths in our mountain pose. That's the 3rd one. Lovely stuff. So we're going to start straight away with a balance. And we're going to start with a balance we ended on yesterday, and that is a one-legged mountain pose. So if you are stood, bring your weight into your right leg. So push down through the right leg, lift your left leg up to hip height or a little bit higher if you fancy it. Push down through, flex that left foot, shoulder blades down the back. Hold it for a breath. Maybe 2 breaths, depending how quickly you're breathing. And then release down. Shake it off. Find your center. Find your balance once more. Taking it into the left leg. Pushing into the left leg. Weight on the left leg. Bring your right knee up to hip height. Flex the toes as if you're pushing onto a step beneath you. Shoulder blades down the back. Palms facing forward. Breathe. And then release out. Lovely stuff. Bring your hands to prayer position at heart center. Inhale, sweep the arms overhead. Take the stretch if you like. Oh yeah, that feels good. And then as you exhale, fold forward, hinging at the hips, knees bent. Inhale, lift up halfway, shoulder blades down the back. Exhale, fold forward. If you are mat-based, step it back into child's pose. So feet together, knees mat distance apart. If you're chair-based, let the arms just hang loose. If you are normally chair-based, but you don't fancy child's pose, just take a ragdoll. So bend those knees nice and generously. Let everything just hang loose. And then if you are sat down, lifting yourselves up to seated. If you're mat-based without a chair, come into a downward facing dog. So hands forward, hips nice and high. Bend the knees, scoop the hips up and back, and come into a down dog. If you are standing and you have a chair and you fancy a down dog, take the feet back. Let your head sink in between the upper arms. Legs are straight. Shoulder blades down the back. Downward facing dog. Breathe. So for our mat based, inhale, lift your right leg up high. And as you exhale, bring the knee in between the hands at the front of the mat. So I'm going to demonstrate the same with a chair as well. So if you are stood with a chair, lift your right leg up and then bring that knee into the center of your chair. So your right foot is to the left side of the mat or the chair. Your right thigh is on the right side of the chair. Walk your left foot back, coming into pigeon on this side. So hands either side of that front knee. Inhale, open the chest. Breathe. If you are seated, pigeon seated looks very like a figure 4. Right ankle is on the left thigh, knee is giving into gravity, or the foot is on the side, on the other side of the foot. Please don't cough, Daisy. It's all right, darling. Good girl. Lovely stuff. Pigeon. From here, push through both hands at the front of the mat. Lift up, lift the hips up, take the right foot back into your downward facing dog. Maybe walk the dog ever so slightly. Don't get any ideas, Daisy. And find some stillness once more. Breathe. Shoulder blades down the back, downward facing dog. If you are seated, bring the hands overhead, legs out long, tilt forward ever so slightly. That is your downward facing dog. From here, anchor through the right foot, lift the left leg up high. Hi, Daisy. And then bring that, oh, I've gone a bit too far away from my chair. Bring your left knee in between the hands at the front of the mat. Left foot is to the right side of your chair or your mat. The left thigh on the other side. Walk that right leg back, finding where's comfortable for your pigeon. Inhale, open the chest. If you are seated, your left ankle is on top of the right thigh, or your left foot is on the inside of the right ankle on the floor. Let gravity do its thing, opening the hips up. Pigeon. And then bring hands either side of that front knee. Lift up. Take your left foot back to meet the right. In our downward facing dog once more. Hips back. Bend the knees. Scoop the hips up and back. Shoulder blades down the back. Head in between the upper arms. If you're seated, arms are overhead. Legs out long. Tilt forward from the hips. Breathe. What you doing? And then from here, if you're mat based, bring your knees down to the mat. Come to a seated position. If you want to come onto a chair, bring yourselves around to the front of your chair and then bring yourselves to seated. Lovely stuff. If you're on the mat, legs are out long in front of you. Bend your left knee in and then take your left foot onto the thigh. If you're seated, left foot is on the inside of that right ankle. Let the knee rest out to the side. Inhale, raise the arms overhead. And as you exhale, fold forward over that right leg. Breathe. Inhale, lift yourselves back up. Bring your arms overhead. And then release them down. Lovely stuff. If you are on the mat, take your right leg out wide. Left foot comes again on the inside of that thigh. Same kind of thing. If you're seated on a chair, right leg is out long. Heel on the floor, toes pointing up. Left foot inwards ever so slightly. Inhale, lift up, raise up through the arms. Turn to face that right leg, fold over that front leg, bring your hands to the shins, to the mat or to the foot. If you're on a chair, just be careful you're not going to fall off the chair. So I've just had to readjust myself because I feel like I'm going to fall. It's not a nice feeling. Inhale, open the chest. Exhale, fold. Lovely stuff. Breathe. Inhale, lift yourselves back up. Bring your right arm along the inside of that right leg. Left arm comes overhead. Inhale, lengthen through the spine. Exhale, take the left hand over towards the right foot. Breathe into that side stretch. Enjoy the side stretch. Lifting yourselves back up. Lovely stuff. Take both legs out wide this time. So I'm coming onto the very edge of my seat here. I am going to be very careful about falling off the chair because it's quite a slippery chair. Inhale, lengthen through the spine. Exhale, I'm definitely moving. Exhale, fold forward. Hands down to the floor, to the mat, or either side or either leg. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, fold. Breathe. Keep your back as straight as possible. Lifting yourselves back up. Bring your right foot now on the inside of that left thigh. Bring your left hand on the inside of that left leg. Inhale, raise the right arm overhead. Lengthen up through the spine. Exhale, right hand comes over towards the left foot. Breathe. Try to keep your chest open, shoulder blades down the back. Inhale, lift yourselves back up. And then on your next inhale, raising the arms overhead. Exhale, turn to face that left leg. Exhale, fold over the left leg. Hands come to your shins, to the floor, to your foot if you can reach the foot without rounding through the back. So the chest stays quite open. Breathe. Inhaling, lifting yourselves back up. Turn to face front of your mat. So bring that left leg around in front of you once more. Right foot is still on the inside of that thigh, or it is on the inside of your left ankle. So if you're seated, you can either have your left leg out long or bent. Inhale, raise the arms overhead once more. Lengthen up and exhale, fold forward. Hinging at the hips. Hands come to your shins, to the floor, to the foot, wherever is comfortable. Breathe. Inhaling, lifting yourselves back up, arms overhead. And then bring the hands down to prayer position. Release them out. Bring both feet together. Bring the soles of the feet together. Let the knees rest out either side. Coming into a bound angle pose. So your choice if you wish to fold forward or not. If you wish to fold forward, inhale, lengthen. Exhale, fold forward. Excuse me. I'll allow you to round through the back now. And just find some peace in your bound angle pose. Opening the hips, letting gravity work on the hips. Breathe. Lifting yourselves up very slowly. Hands at either side of the knees. Bring the knees in towards each other. Find a comfortable seated position. Bring your hands to prayer position, heart center. Taking a soft gaze. Taking 3 conscious breaths. And sealing the practice in, folding forward. Maybe bringing the thumbs to your third eye, a space in between the eyebrows. Thanking yourselves. And I thank you for joining me.